What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This, of course, is Anthony. This is the VR Game Rankings YouTube channel, and this is episode 185 of the show. Today is August 1st, and do you guys know what August 1st means? I'm going to show you real quickly here. That is what August 1st means. Yes, rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. Did you wake up today and did you say rabbit, rabbit, rabbit? Because if you didn't, you're boned. You could have had 1 month. You could have had a full entire month of luck, prosperity, and everything if you just woke up this morning and you said rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. Now, of course, you could live in a household with multiple people, and if somebody else woke up first and said rabbit, 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 they get all the luck. That's the way that I understand that. That is August 1st. But let's go ahead and throw on the typical opening trailer. I made one, so might as well use it, right? Yeah, I'm going to have to improve the beat with Electronauts. Actually, no. Apparently, you cannot use Electronauts to make your own beats. That is something that we heard about yesterday. That does disappoint me a little bit about Electronauts. Yeah, Lethal Weasel VR is saying, I've never heard this. That explains everything. Rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. Yeah, Ollie, you know what it's all about. What it's all about is if you say rabbit, rabbit, rabbit on the first of the month, right when you wake up, it's better the earlier in the day, the better. Like if you're in bed and you wake up and you say rabbit, rabbit, rabbit right away, you're just guaranteed. You might as well play the lottery every day and, you know, do anything you want to do because you are going to be chilling in the month of August. I was a little bit late today. I was up for like an hour before I realized it. How lame was that? I've done it in bed before. I've actually done it in bed before. Okay, so let's see here. We've got a number of stories to get to today. There's no question about that. Obviously, one of the biggest things that we're going to be thinking about today is the thoughts on Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. Have you guys played Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice? Did you play it yesterday? I played it. I have my thoughts on it, although, again, I barely have scratched the surface. I only played this thing for like 20 minutes, or I don't know, maybe a little bit longer than that, and I got stuck at a certain point in the game, extremely early. I have not even battled a creature. All I've done is walked around and heard all the voices, you know, in her head and you know, seeing bodies that are hanging upside down and all of that. I'm just at the very, very, very beginning intro. The Jordan Complex is saying, how did it run on my 970? Well, it's interesting because when I first got in there, everything looked really good in the game, but whenever I was moving my head around, like as long as I wasn't moving my head around, everything was flawless. As soon as I started moving my head around, it started getting really framey and hitchy. And so I had to dial down the settings. And what I did was I set everything to like super low. And then the graphics were terrible. The graphics looked like a PlayStation 2 game when I turned everything way the hell down. And I've been playing with it ever since then, adjusting the different graphical settings that are in there. There's a number of different graphical settings that they provide. And so what I've been doing is I've been slowly pushing those up and then checking when I move my head around, does it go crazy or is it nice and smooth? And so I've been kind of testing that out. So trying to get the graphics a little bit better. Ollie says you have to get in a little further. Yeah, so I'm stuck at the gate. Yeah. IPCSK says I bet you're stuck at the first gate. Yeah, so here's the deal. You get this weird M-looking symbol, right? There's this M-looking symbol. I see M-looking symbols all over the goddamn cave. You hear the lady, Senua, I guess. Is her name Senua? I don't know. You hear the lady talking about there's a pattern, there's a pattern, there's a pattern. So I'm like, okay, there's a pattern. And so I'm looking at all these little symbols. And I'm trying to think, what do I got to do? Do I need to see all of these symbols within 1 second of time to activate all of them to unlock the gate? I tried doing that. I tried to see if maybe one of the symbols would like start blinking or something. I couldn't figure it out. So spoilers, if somebody wants to spoil that very first section there, because I just need to go to like a walkthrough. Crunchy says the game is supposed to portray mental illness and how it can affect someone. Yeah, obviously, yeah, they kind of make that clear during the opening sequence, and the opening sequence is cool, especially for everybody that worked on that game. I bet, you know, when they see their names like on the side as you're going along in your boat, that must be pretty cool. Like if you were in this team, the opening sequence really pays a lot of respect to the developers that are on there. Mame Fan says on a wall. Okay, Ollie says you have to look around, and on the wall in the back you will see the M and it will turn blue. Okay, okay. So that's what I need to do. I need to see an M that is on the wall that turns blue. All right, so that's what I'll have to do next time. But you know what's interesting, folks? So far, I mean, you guys know where I am. I'm stuck at this gate. That's where I am. I just barely got there, right? I'll go back and look at this chat later after the show is done before I play Senua's later today, and I'm sure I'll get enough tips there. I'll get enough tips because Inda O'Connor, new in the chat. I don't know if I've seen Inda O'Connor before. He's saying not just the wall, match to a symbol in the environment. Oggs57 says cheers, Fluke Rogie. That's Oggs. Haven't seen him in chat before, so I mean, probably they may have been in chat once or twice. But it's always nice to have, a new viewer. So Oggs57, a new viewer. That is always super cool. Let me just make sure my chat is good here. All right, so it's like a shadow or a crack on the wall. I was looking over every millimeter of those walls, and I was looking up at the ivy. What I thought you had to do was, like, I was looking up at the ivy, and I was seeing that symbol way the hell up there on the ivy. And I thought, oh, you got to keep following it. And then maybe she jumps up and she grabs the ivy. Did anybody else think that? That's what I actually thought. It's funny. Okay, so anyway, I wanted to get into my thoughts on this game so far because everybody, but I haven't experienced the game. You guys know I'm stuck, haven't even gotten into the, like no combat, or I'm assuming there's like some kind of combat or something you have to do at some point. This isn't just a walking simulator. Like if I was going to kind of talk smack about this game, I would say that so far the 20 minutes or whatever I've played has been a walking simulator, really riding in a canoe simulator. I'm assuming there's some kind of combat, some kind of action, some kind of maybe action platforming that you have to do at some point, hopefully. Oh man, XX Silver XX is saying it's pretty much the same throughout the game, all environmental clues, shapes, etc. All right, so is this a walking simulator? You know, I could deal with a walking simulator. Hey Anthony, did you see Epix is back? Yes, the Jordan Complex. Yes, Epix is back. It is great to have Epix back in the mix. VR Roundtable is going to be coming back soon too as well. So that's cool. But yeah, Epix, it's nice to see Epix is back. Hybrid Energy says there is combat. Fluke says, yeah, the combat is solid. He says, but I'm not a beat 'em up expert. So I guess the combat is a bit on the beat 'em up side of the coin. Okay, so here's what I wanted to say though about Senua's Sacrifice. Having said that I've barely scratched the surface, I'm at the very tip of the iceberg with this game. But so far, I am not head over heels for this game like everybody else is. And one of the problems for me with Hellblade is I feel like I am too close to her. I'm too close to her. Now look, I know you can go into the options and I know you can play with like the vertical offset and the horizontal offset. And so I've used the vertical offset to get up and above, to get a little bit above, so she's a little bit lower. And I like that. I like having a little bit of that height. But what I want to do is I want to get a couple feet behind her. Like I want to back up a little bit. Like she's right here and it's like, okay, she's right there. Can I back up a couple of feet and keep her right there? I think that would be perfect. So Ninja Theory, if it is possible, give us the option of backing up a little bit because I feel like I am too close to that character. If you play Bound on PlayStation VR, they didn't put you right up on her. You know, they gave you a little bit of distance. I also went into the experimental mode. Did anybody go into the experimental mode? The experimental mode is actually super cool, but it messes with my eyes. I can't deal with it. But man, the experimental mode, Hybrid Energy says, yeah, you can't play this 20 minutes, LOL. Yeah, see, I haven't gotten to the game yet. You can just step back in room scale. Can you really? Can I physically step back and she'll get farther away from me? Oh, that would be cool. I didn't even know that. I haven't tried that. I was just basically... Well, see, I was sitting in a chair. Physically move away. Really? Well, if that's all there is to it, then I just move my chair back a couple of feet. Okay, I will definitely try that next time, no question. Because that was my biggest issue is I felt like I'm right up on her, and it's like no, I need to step back a little bit. The Jordan Complex says, what is experimental mode? So experimental mode is like you're playing a cartoon version of the game. And what it does is it takes the game world and it scales it way down, and then it puts it right up here like this. So you see her running around, and you see puddles of mud, and you see the grass and everything. And it seriously looks like a cartoon. I almost wanted to stick with experimental mode. I was really enjoying experimental mode, but again, it almost felt like my eyes had to focus too much on the game, like it was almost like uncomfortable for me. So wait a minute here, folks. Are you telling me that this game is 15 pounds on the Humble Store? 11.49 pounds. 11.49 pounds. Wow, you guys are getting all these great deals. I bought this game for $30. What is up with that? IPCSK says, or you can see her like a giant or a small creature. Yeah, there is a giant mode. I didn't try that one, but I mean, it's cool. The visual options are cool. I haven't found one that works for me yet, but knowing that you can just move physically back, I'm going to try that. Absolutely, I will try that. Okay, so that is cool. So everybody else, is there anybody out there that is not in love with Hellblade, or is everybody in love with Hellblade? You don't necessarily need to be a contrarian, so if everybody loves it, that's awesome. Inda O'Connor says, giant mode is useless. Andy Sky says, this game is really eye-catching in VR. Ollie paid 30 euros in Germany. Ollie got screwed in Germany. Hybrid Energy. The combat is heavy and fun. I didn't like it the first 30 minutes either. So, okay, so this is just a case of me not getting deep enough into this game. Main fan is 1.5 hours in. All right. So, yeah, I definitely got to give some more time. The good news is, remember how I said I had some people visiting and it was hard for me to play because, you know, you can't just sneak off into your dungeon for 2 hours because people are like, okay, where's Anthony? What is he doing? They're gone now. They're gone. So I can actually play games now a little bit longer. So I definitely will put significantly more time into Hellblade, especially now that I know what to do as far as being stuck at that one point. Phil Yarn is checking in. And so Phil Yarn, hold on a second there. I am going to throw on a trailer for Phil Yarn. If I can find my trailer. So Phil Yarn, Pixel Ripped 1989. Did you get it? Have you tried it? What is your retro thoughts? I want to know your guys' thoughts. Who picked up Pixel Ripped 1989 yesterday, and who got into Pixel Ripped 1989 yesterday, and who was able to get past that initial Game Boy level to get to the really cool mode, the mode right there. Who got there and who tried that? And what do you think? Am I out of my mind, or is Pixel Ripped really something special? Because for me, Pixel Ripped just has crazy production values. So I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say about Pixel Ripped. Another thing I wanted to say about Pixel Ripped is check this out, folks. Let's see. This is my Electronic Gaming Monthly 1989 Buyer's Guide. Yeah, baby. And see that magazine on the desk in the trailer? Next time you'll see that, this is my magazine. It is on that desk. She straight up ripped off my magazine. Electronic Gaming Monthly. So just curious. I just bought that yesterday and had it airmailed to me. No, I've had that for like years. I used to collect. I actually collect Electronic Gaming Monthlies, still trying to get the very first issue, which is really the second issue. This is actually the first issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly. I'm still trying to get the first issue, which has Mega Man. It's like white. It has Mega Man on it. That's like the only issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly that I don't have, but it's like 100 bones on eBay. It's like, nah, I'm not paying $100 for a magazine. Phil Yarn says, dear God, that magazine is awesome. Well, Phil, honestly, the best retro gaming magazine that you can get, Die Hard Game Fan. Die Hard Game Fan, the best retro magazine out there, especially if you can get issues from 1993 and 1994 and 1995, like the first 3 or 4 years of Die Hard Game Fan. Incredible. Electronic Gaming Monthly is cool, very nostalgic, no question about it. Okay, so Hybrid Energy says, I really liked Pixel Ripped when the world spilled out into the real world, or the VR real world. Yeah, I mean, that's the moment. So you're telling me, Hybrid Energy, you're telling me you played through that entire Game Boy game? Because it took me a while. It's not that, I mean, was it that easy? Was it easy to like hold down the run button and then hit jump? You know, when you had to do those real big jumps? Because you have to have some platforming chops. If you have absolutely zero platforming chops, you're probably going to be stuck on playing that Game Boy game for quite some time. And you really have to use the spit wad. You absolutely have to use a spit wad. You have to distract that teacher so it gives you more time so that you can get through this initial Game Boy level. Because I played Pixel Ripped 1989 probably 3 different times before I saw where it starts leaking out into your world, which is the best part of the game. It's clearly the best part of the game. And it's like when you see that part, when it starts leaking out into the real world, that is the special part of it. That part right there, and I'll show you guys again. Let's check it out. Still waiting, still waiting. There's my magazine. There's my magazine. This part, that part right there. You get into this like weird Tron thing, and it's cool. It's super cool, man. I'm really liking Pixel Ripped. But I know there's people out there that started playing this Game Boy game and then they started thinking to themselves, do I really like playing this Game Boy game, or am I doing this because everybody else likes it? And you know, there's the what is it? It's like the herd mentality. You know, everybody kind of like starts praising a certain game. Have you ever done that? Have you ever liked something because everybody else liked it, but you really didn't like it, truthfully, when you get down to it? But I like Pixel Ripped. I just thought the Game Boy version was like, wow, you really got to play a legit Game Boy level to get to the more next level kind of stuff that makes you think, oh, okay, I see what they're doing here. Fluke Rogi says, yep, that just sounds like normal gaming to me. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's just normal human behavior, right? But yeah, so I like Pixel Ripped. Okay, Chris Gould says, didn't get Pixel Ripped, but it did make me want to buy a GPD XD. Oh, I know. Yeah, those handheld emulators. That one has a 4:3 screen, right? See, that's what somebody needs to do. They do make these special little portables that you can get for like running all the greatest emulators on there with a 4:3 screen, so it really fits the screen right. Hybrid Energy says, don't shoot the chicken in level 2. Spoilers. Spoilers. Ogs57 says, I like the look of Pixel, but my library is stuffed chaka with games crying to be played. I seem to buy more than I play lately. Ogs, I am feeling your pain, because let me tell you, I mean, Marvel Powers United VR, The Persistence on PlayStation VR, Pixel Ripped 1989, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, Seeking Dawn, which I really need to get back to Seeking Dawn and play some more Seeking Dawn, because I was actually starting to enjoy Seeking Dawn. Really love The Persistence, haven't touched that. And then there's another game I'm playing that is actually, I believe it's embargoed. I have to double check on the embargo. It's coming out relatively soon in the month of August. Exciting. And then, of course, Electronauts. I've barely scratched the surface of Electronauts. Speaking of Electronauts, though, let me go ahead and throw a trailer on for Electronauts, because I got to back up a little bit. I guess I was a little bit overhyped on Electronauts yesterday. Because the thing about Electronauts, it doesn't quite do what I was hoping it would do. So what I was talking about yesterday in regards to Electronauts is I thought, you know what, if you can make your own song using this technology to make your own song sound like an incredible badass, that would be super awesome. But apparently that isn't really what this game is about. What this game does is it gives you like 13 songs that you can basically become the ultimate DJ using those 13 songs and make something super cool out of it. But if you want to make your own beat, this doesn't do that. I am a little bit disappointed in that. I guess I was a little bit like thinking it was too great, you know, because I was kind of thinking if you could make a super awesome beat and then export it as an MP3 to your computer, and actually you could use it on SoundCloud and you could make a rap to it, or you could have a song to it or whatever. And it's like, I made my music in Electronauts. Now maybe that could be a future thing that Survios could do, but basically with this game, it's the tracks that they include. There might be additional tracks. You can do some really cool stuff with it, and we did find out the price. It is $19.99, so I am happy. I think that is a good idea. That is a good price. I think that's a smart move by Survios, because that's the cheapest game they've made so far. Let me go back to chat, because people were talking about how we are overflowing with games, which is incredible. Hybrid Energy says, Red Matter, now on Revive. Oh yeah, add that to the list too. You guys that have never played Red Matter, holy smokes. Red Matter is really nice. Roy Schwartz, Seeking Dawn is coming to PSVR in December. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in just a sec. IPCSK, and we're complaining there is not enough games on VR. That's what all the haters say. You know, haters on NeoGAF, haters elsewhere. People that are just married to the idea of sitting on a sofa with their wireless controller in their hand, playing on a television. They're very familiar with that. They're very comfortable. They're very comfortable with that. And one of the first things they go to is VR has no games. VR has no games. That is just blatantly false. VR has tons of games. Now, does VR have Grand Theft Auto 5? Does VR have God of War? Does VR have Uncharted? Does VR have The Last of Us? You know, all of these things. Not yet. See, that's where we need to get. They do still have an argument there. Hybrid Energy says, I actually produce music in real life, working on a soundtrack on a Kickstarter game based on old school Ultima games from the 1980s. Hybrid, you would probably, I really hope they have some type of demo for Electronauts. They should have some type of brief demo, because I think if you tried it hybrid, you might think it's really super cool. Main Fan says, I'm not crazy about the Persistence or Hellblade. Tried Persistence co-op using the phone, and my girlfriend didn't like it. Said she had to tap on question marks constantly. Wasn't fun for her. Yeah, I haven't tried that. I should be able to try that. So the Persistence is what it is. And the more you play it, the more you realize that it's kind of rinse and repeat. It is visceral. These things get up in your face, but you're really, sometimes you almost feel like you're not playing the game as much, because you're kind of waiting to hit the square button to zap them. But I don't know. I still like the Persistence. I love the sound of the Persistence. Can't say anything about Hellblade yet. I do have background airplane noises for those of you with incredible hearing. Chrono Trigger says Megaton Rainfall August 8th. Yes, that is going to be arriving. And you know what? I really believe that Vive and Rift owners, pay attention to Megaton Rainfall. Pay attention to Megaton Rainfall. Kev Gret says, I have 10 hours into the Persistence and still not close to being finished. That's a lot of good time to be in a game. Crunchy says, time for AR glasses to make the room look however you want. The problem with AR is you still got your room. It's an additive display. So if your room is a filthy mess, I don't know exactly how you're going to hide that with AR, unless it practically takes over your entire vision, which a lot of people that develop AR stuff say is a bad idea. Speaking of AR, ladies and gentlemen, there is a metric ton of little Magic Leap details. But I'm not going to get into it on this particular episode because I got enough other stuff to talk about. But later today, sometime later today, probably maybe 5 p.m. Pacific time, which I know is way too late for everybody in England. You guys will have to check that out tomorrow. But if you're on the East Coast, it would be 8 p.m. And if you're Pacific time, 5 p.m. I'm going to try to do a special quick Magic Leap show at 5 p.m. that is dedicated to a lot of little Magic Leap things. I didn't want to bog down this episode with that. But yeah, Magic Leap special coming later today. Silver XXX Silver is saying 40-degree field of view. Well, hey, technically it's a 50-degree diagonal. Yes, technically 50 degrees diagonal, 40 horizontal, or no, 40 vertical, 30 horizontal, I believe, Magic Leap. So we'll have a little Magic Leap special later today, but we're not going to deal with that right about now. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and get into some of these minor stories that I did want to touch. And Roy Schwartz already brought one of them up, so might as well go to that. And let's go ahead and throw on. This is a Seeking Dawn roadmap. And this is basically what they're hoping to do over the next couple of months. I honestly believe Seeking Dawn at first I was thinking Seeking Dawn is way overrated, getting way too much love, doesn't really deserve the love, it's not that good. The more I played Seeking Dawn, the more I started to enjoy it. But so many other games have come out that I have had to kick Seeking Dawn to the curb, and I've barely scratched the surface. This is the developer roadmap. They're talking about stuff that is going to be coming in August, September, and December. And what they're going to do here, I'm looking at it, it says they're going to fix some critical bugs, network optimization, graphic optimization, left-hander mode. A lot of people will like that. Detailed save slot info, fix issue whereby music sound effects would sometimes not play, general improvements. So that is coming in August. September, we have a free DLC update, Age of Master, a brand new master mode, new weapon updates, new playable area, level redesign, blah, blah, blah. So some nice stuff coming in September. But for those of you with PlayStation VR, in December, you are going to get the PlayStation VR version of Seeking Dawn. And so for PSVR players, this is a meaty VR game that does offer a lot. And so I think for PSVR players, not a bad deal there. Let's see here. I do have, you know, random Seeking Dawn trailer that I can go ahead and throw on real quick. And let's throw a little volume in.
This is Major Walker, first mission log. We've arrived at the alien planet.
Coleman?
That's Captain Coleman, Lieutenant. Gear up and get ready. You'll be coming in hot.
Well, damn. So this is where they went missing.
Watch your step. A crack team like Walker's doesn't just drop off the grid.
Yeah, so that is Seeking Dawn. I'm looking at the chat here. Hybrid Energy says Seeking Dawn seems to be the game I didn't like that everyone did. Performance was awful. He felt like there was a lot of grinding, and that may be the case because, again, just call me Mr. Iceberg because I only touch the iceberg of games. I just don't have time to get deep into them because I haven't seen the grinding yet with Seeking Dawn. But you know, the one thing that you do see in this trailer, and the one thing I really do enjoy about Seeking Dawn, I think they did very good menus in VR. Accessing the different menus, bringing the different menus up, selecting your guns, selecting your alien burger, selecting your water, all of that works quite well for me. But yeah, Seeking Dawn coming to PlayStation VR, that still is pretty big news. I mean, we knew it was going to happen. We knew this game was coming to PSVR already. I want to get back to it. I want to play it. But like Phil Yarn was saying, there's too many damn good games. He's saying he's not going to be able to eat lunch next week because of Megaton Rainfall. There's just too much good stuff. But that's a wonderful problem to have, obviously. It's an incredible problem to have. I love having that problem. Okay, so why don't I throw on something a little bit different? So I'm going to go to a trailer for SIGGRAPH 2018, and it's kind of like AR, VR. Let's go ahead and watch this trailer, and we can talk about this real quick. Let's check it out. Did you guys see Wolves in the Walls? Now, Wolves in the Walls, that looked good. This right here from Niantic, that looks hella good too. Tales of the Wedding Ring. So a lot of interesting stuff here. This is SIGGRAPH 2018. It is coming up, I believe. Is this in Vancouver, Canada? Like in relatively a few days now? When is SIGGRAPH? Yeah, August 12th. Through 15th or 16th or something. It is in Vancouver. I love Vancouver. Somebody fly me there. I love Vancouver. It's actually one of the best cities I've been to. I'd move to Vancouver. I like it that much. But yeah, so this is coming up. And you know what? There are a lot of rumors, actually. Speaking of Magic Leap, which I'm going to get into later. I mean, later today with a special Magic Leap show. One of the rumors is Magic Leap will actually launch on the first day of this show. So I guess that would be August 12th. So that is one rumor. But yeah, so some interesting stuff. Wolves in the Walls. This, of course, is made basically by everybody that was in Oculus Story Studios. It was kind of the one leftover project. So we're definitely excited about Wolves in the Walls. Definitely want to check that out. That looks super cool right there. But do you really want to run around with your cell phones? But that did look cool. So let's go ahead and see in chat. People are talking about getting older. Chris Gould says, at Paradise Decay, today is the youngest you are ever gonna be. Yeah, I guess if you think about it that way. And then Paradise says, I don't know, I lose a few years every time I step into VR. And then Hybrid says, if that was the case, PD, you'd be dead by now with all the videos you upload. Yeah, he would be long dead. So anyways, that's the graph. It's coming up. Not a big story. Nobody's really saying anything about it. So let's go ahead and move on to our next unknown story that we can talk about briefly. And so this is some... Have you guys heard of this Nim Sony guy? I'm sure you've seen this. This guy has done like some fake Mario stuff, some fake Sonic stuff in VR. I've tried a number of this guy's demos, like the Sonic one, the Mario one. None of them quite felt right to me. You know, physically jumping, it's like, give me a button or something. I never could quite do it right. But I saw that this is on both the Vive and Rift subreddit. He's come up with some type of inverse kinematic system, a full body inverse kinematic system, and he's showing it right here. He's kind of demoing it right here. It looks kind of cool. I mean, just looking at this video, it looks kind of cool to me. But let's see if we can hear a little bit of the sound for a sec.
Yeah. So, upper body animations, I can see this on the big screen there and the big screen there behind me as well. That's the way I've been testing it. And you can see it's pretty realistic. You know, you put your hand up, you can see your shoulder moves up and down. You put your other hand up, you can turn your body quite nice and easily. It doesn't look like I'm just wobbling about all the time. It doesn't look like my arms are disconnected from my hands. The shoulders actually move quite well. The hands move quite well.
Yeah, that looks pretty damn good. That looks pretty damn good. Has anybody downloaded this already? Can we actually try this? Because I'd like to try this. It does look pretty good. And I'll tell you what, inverse kinematics continues to get better and better. I was talking about it in regards to Marvel Powers United VR, you know, with Spider-Man. I think that arm looks really good. Unfortunately, I moved my elbow up like that, and it didn't move right. The inverse kinematics weren't quite there, so we need to improve that. But this does look pretty good. I wasn't a huge fan of this guy's previous stuff with Mario and Sonic. I mean, it was cool that he made it, and I liked the colorfulness of it. I just never could, the controls I never could quite get with it. Phil Yarn says, hey, Anthony, are you going to get one of the new NVIDIA GPUs? I hear they will use a special hookup for VR to cut down on the cords. Yeah, so I guess if you got one of those cards, but you wouldn't be able to use that special connector until you got a new headset that featured that connector, right? But yeah, August 30th, this month. We're now in August. So I guess the very end of this month, supposedly the 1180. What is everybody's prediction on the 1180? What's your prediction for price? I say Founders Edition, like the standard retail price is $899.99, but maybe it's even higher than that. Curious to what you guys think about that. Paradise Decay says, I talk to Nim Sony a lot. He's really breaking VR bounds. Yeah, I mean, he's doing some good things. I'm definitely curious to try this and check it out. Hybrid Energy says, yeah, Nathy did his Sonic and Mario games. He's passionate about VR. He'll be big once one of his project catches on, and at some point, something he does will. I mean, look at that. Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to disparage. I just couldn't quite get around the controls. Phil Yarn is saying $650 max. There's no way. Won't the 1180 be beyond, say, a 1080 Ti? It's gonna be way more than that. Hybrid Energy says $799, $800. Jim Hall, $599. What? Won't the 1180? Won't this be the most powerful GPU at this point in time? No. I mean, I know the 1180 Plus is the one that people are really going to want. You got the 1170 and you got the 1160. Yeah, wishful thinking, Phil Yarn. That is some seriously wishful thinking. I don't think we're going to see a price like that. Hybrid Energy was talking about Spark, saying it has really good upper body inverse kinematics. Hybrid Energy says $599. No way. Maybe for the 1170. I honestly think that would be pretty good for the 1170. But yeah. Any rumors on performance relative to a 1080? No. You'd have to go to like the... if you go to NeoGAF, they probably have a lot of people speculating on exactly the kind of performance boost you're going to get. But I have not looked into any of that so far. Okay, let's see here. We got some other minor news stories to get to that I should bounce over to. Why don't we take a look at the Contagion roadmap? Yeah, this is the day of roadmaps. So Seeking Dawn has a roadmap. Contagion has a roadmap. And this just came out. And this is my boy, Victor Burgos. Not technically my boy, but I was in chat with him one time. So he is my boy. I know him. Victor Burgos is doing a lot of work. You know, he is trying to be front-facing with Contagion, and he's trying to rally the community around this game, and with the hopes that they plan to improve a lot of stuff. But if you look at this development roadmap, I got to tell you, this is incredibly aggressive, all of the things that they plan to do. I wish them well, I wish them luck, but damn. So in August, slot saving, outbreak mission completion, proper tutorial, firing range game modes, proper localization setup, mission 2, performance optimizations, more menu options, quality of life, comfort, graphics, and more. September, new mission/missions, expanded free mode game, crafting and storage, new zombie variants, co-op game. I mean, dude, it's like they're building a brand new game every month. Victor, I think you guys are a little bit optimistic with this roadmap here. I honestly think like everything that is in August will probably, that's August and September. Everything that's in September, that's October and November, is probably a more realistic expectation. But hey, I wish these guys luck. I liked Contagion. I actually have not picked up the game. That is one of the few games I haven't picked up, didn't get a key for it, didn't decide to pick it up. And the problem is like, you know, you got to make decisions. You got to make choices. I can't buy every little game that comes down the pipe. So for me, sometimes I have to buy games. And like Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, I bought that. I should have got it on sale. But I bought it. And, you know, Seeking Dawn, bought that one, didn't, you know. So... I gotta save money for games I have to buy. Marvel Powers United VR, and I didn't end up buying Contagion. But I wish these guys luck. I always like the demo, and I know the other demo has been improved. Has anybody gotten in there and tried this updated demo? What are your thoughts on Contagion? I'm gonna add a little bit of volume here for a sec. I like those dirty windows. Very dark during these scenes. I like being indoors though, in that apartment in the dark, and I really loved the outdoor area. Victor, what is up with the outdoor area? That's where I want to get outside, where those cars are. I want to hear like car alarms go off. I want to walk down a dirty alley that's wet with garbage cans. That's what I want to do. Hybrid Energy says, yeah, the demo was epic. The game, not so much. Let's see what people are talking about up here. He really screwed up after the impressive demo. I'll be watching this project with interest. That's Paradise Decay talking about Contagion. Let's see. Roy Schwartz. The demo looked great. Silver saying the demo looked great. Paradise Decay says, I was 1 day away from playing Contagion. Glad I didn't try it now. I mean, it's not horrible. It's not horrible, but basically what you get for the $20, you're not really getting much more than this demo. That's the problem. It's like, why, you know, that's just a whole nother story, but it's just too many people are like giving away demos and then they're asking you to buy a game that has like 20 minutes extra from what the demo has additionally with all these promises of future things coming. This is early access though. This is what you guys want. You guys want early access. Well, this is early access for you. Sometimes a lot of the game, you're waiting on a lot of the game to come down the pipe. IPCSK says, I like the updated demo much less than the original demo. That is very weird. That is very weird because usually you would think a new updated demo would be better, right? Anyways, so yeah, this guy has a roadmap. Victor Burgos, Contagion, Monochrome Inc. I wish them the best of luck. I want them to dial in this game. I think there is some impressive stuff here, and you know, hopefully they get that a little bit better. Let's see here. So let's go ahead and bounce over to a different story. Another thing that we have here, well, Zero Caliber. We were just talking about ATEC Cybernetic. And this, of course, is X Real Games. They do have this game called Zero Caliber. It is coming out, I believe, in September 13th, but don't quote me on that. I'm just going off memory there. So not too long this is coming. Kind of looks like Firewall 0 Hour to some degree. So the timing is kind of right for everybody that is on PC VR that is not going to get their hands on Firewall 0 Hour. They're going to see all this talk about Firewall 0 Hour, which we actually have news on that. They're going to hear about that and they're going to say, well, hey, this is kind of like Firewall 0 Hour. Looks pretty good. ATEC Cybernetic, we were talking about that the other day. I had a video montage of it. Looks very much like Dead Effect 2 VR. It looks like Doom VFR. It looks like Doom 3 BFG. And a lot of people are saying it's good, but not great. If you really want another one of those, not bad. And this is Zero Caliber. And this is the co-op mode that they have. And so I'll go ahead and add a little bit of sound. Let's check this out. Yeah, so we got Hybrid Energy is saying, looks like an Onward clone, to be honest. Fluke Rogi is talking about a news story that I still have coming, so hold up a minute there. Yeah, not much other people are talking about this. Charles Van Nolan says, looks like a pretty high-quality Onward clone, though. Yeah, you know, well, here's the thing. It has a co-op mode, which I kind of like that better than being with a whole bunch of multiplayers. Like, for example, maybe me and Gary could get into a co-op game, or me and MameFan could get into a co-op game. And so that's just me and one other person. And we're going through here, mowing down all the soldiers, you know, using our sniper rifles and all that stuff. That actually appeals more to me than like a 5-on-5, 4-on-4. I know I'm crazy, but for me, it's like, I kind of want more of the single player thing. But yeah, Hybrid Energy says Onward is pretty high quality. It certainly is. Tessrim has joined the chat. So yeah, this was a little brief story. Now, Fluke Rogi trying to spoil my news stories. He talks about Here They Lie is going to be the free PlayStation Plus game. And let me go ahead and throw on, I did grab a little Here They Lie trailer real quick. So if you get PlayStation Plus in the month of August, you will get Here They Lie. Let's check out this trailer a little bit. A lot of people rave about this game.
Quiet. makes you remember your own heart beating, your own body quivering. How many different ways are there to lose yourself? Everything runs downhill here. If you go...
You know, I really love the visual aesthetic that's going on here. I love kind of the Sin City. It's kind of very black and white, but there's a little burst of color here, a burst of color there. Look at that yellow, the red, the neon lighting, the water on the ground. I love the vibe of this. I don't know why I have not played this. Here They Lie. It's been available for eons, and I've had a PSVR since day one. I've never played this. This is by the Tangentleman, and that's a great name for a developer, by the way. Tangentleman. I really like that name. But yeah, this is Here They Lie for PSVR, which is free in the month of August for PSVR. Yeah, that was a launch day release. October 13th, Here They Lie by the Tangentleman. Hybrid Energy, once the news on this is no motion controls, I think it's a seated game, turned me off. Well, basically the news is just if you have PlayStation Plus, it's a free game. Now, the thing that Sony hasn't done yet that really bothers me, Tangentleman is the developer, the thing that Sony hasn't done yet is promise us a VR game every month. Why they don't do this, I don't know. The day they promise that, that's the day I grab PlayStation Plus, because I wouldn't mind having this game for free. This would actually really work for me since I don't own this game at this time. But T-Dub says, looks very nice, but I heard it makes you feel sick. Well, there is a demo. I've tried the demo. I didn't get very sick in the demo. I believe you like hit a button and you kind of move forward, right? And I don't think I got sick when I was doing it, but I do believe you got to have your VR sea legs. Like if you're the type that easily gets motion sickness, yes, I've heard that this does cause that. Chris Gould says, like a David Lynch film. Yeah, I love the visual aesthetic, especially the part where it shows the phone and you're like in that subway and it's all red. That part is like super freaking cool. IPCSK says Zero Caliber trailer looks like Battlefield 4. I mean, we can wish it was as good as something like that. That right there, I love that subway like underneath there. That looks cool. Yeah, Here They Lie. Like to try it. I don't know that I'm going to pay like $50 or whatever to get PlayStation Plus so I can get this game for free in August. But if you already have PlayStation Plus, not a bad deal. So yeah, Fluke did bring up that news, so I wanted to just throw that trailer on really quick. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here before we get out? Oh, you know what we do have is we have the first legitimate images of Firewall 0 Hour, the PlayStation aim controller, like an actual decent image of this. So this bundle is coming soon, and if you guys have a PlayStation VR, if you don't have an aim controller, this is probably the best way to get it, because the problem is there are limited supplies of the aim controller. And like right now, if you go to Amazon.com right now, you cannot get this aim controller for a very decent price that has a pack in game. You can get this for $80, $79.99. You get Firewall 0 Hour, you get the controller. I really just want the controller. Firewall, probably not my type of game, but you know what? Firewall is actually in the news for a number of reasons, and I'm going to go ahead and quickly throw on a Firewall trailer real quick here. But one of Firewall was in the news on some website regarding the fact that they're not getting the kind of respect that typical game from normal gaming press, from like the mainstream gaming media, because this is a VR game. it's kind of being ignored, and they feel like it is a travesty, that this is a huge game, that people should be really into this game. One of the things they said is that all of the developers that are working on this game, they play it constantly when they're not working on the game. They're always playing it. And some of them were saying like they haven't felt that way about a game since like 1993 or something. Now I know obviously this is a lot of marketing spiel and they're trying to hype the game up, and it's like, yeah man, we can't stop playing this game. It's so freaking amazing. We play it all night long. It is incredible. We can't stop playing it. It's the best game ever. You know, they're trying to kind of hype it up a little bit, but still it does look good. And so I think I am going to be grabbing this bundle. I definitely am going to grab this bundle because I need an aim controller, and basically I'm getting Firewall for $20 because if you want to buy an aim controller, it's $59.99. So might as well grab this bundle. It makes perfect sense. Probably go ahead and do that. All right, let's see here. At least not used aim since the Farpoint bundle. Yeah, it's just hard to get your hands on this aim controller for a decent price. If you go to eBay and stuff, people are trying to get crazy money for it. There was a deal. Target had Farpoint with the controller for $59.99, and I missed that deal. I was an idiot. I should have immediately ran out there and bought that right away. That would have been a smart idea. I still haven't played Farpoint. I kind of want to get the aim controller with this bundle to play Farpoint, actually, more so than Firewall 0 Hour. But, you know, a lot of people ran and raved. There is actually kind of like a little single player mode with bots for those that don't have PlayStation Plus, because you got to have PlayStation Plus to truly enjoy this game. This is a little video that they have where they're talking about VR immersion. Let's listen in for a quick sec.
100% immersion. VR brings an added element of physicality, so there's no pressing a button and looking down your scope. It's you physically bringing up your weapon and aiming down the sights. And you could blind fire, so that means you aim around a corner physically and fire your weapon.
You can absolutely use your weapon as a proxy to motion and signal your team of, I'm going this way, or stop. We actually do that in gameplay.
The PS Aim brings an added VR immersion level that's just unprecedented. It's super physical, like, everything feels real. So when you turn your gun, when you turn the aim, they're both doing the same thing. You are that character.
The wrist tablet basically serves as your mini-map, but we're now in VR, so instead of having it on a screen in front of you, you have it physicalized in virtual reality right in front of your face as if it were your own arms.
I'm not sure why like the lip syncing is off on that video. Anthony, time to get excited for Firewall. Yeah, Kev Gret. Kev Gret, I believe, is the one that was always yapping about Firewall. Here you are, Kev Gret. This is the Firewall talk that you're probably going to get out of me. I mean, honestly, I want to try it. These videos make it look damn good. I ain't going to lie. These videos, I mean, look at that hallway. Look at the carpet. Look at like the hotel room that you're in or whatever. That shit looks really good. I'll give props, you know. First Contact Entertainment. See, the thing is, the other thing I know, though, is a lot of times I consider what a company did in the past. And First Contact Entertainment, they did ROM extraction, right? Which was never like, that game didn't blow. But look at those hallways. Those hallways of that hotel look really good. That looks really good. Roy Schwartz has pre-ordered it. I'm impulsive. Did you grab the bundle? If you don't have the aim controller, you might as well grab the bundle. My question, whoops, jacked up my mic here. My question for anybody out there that has had the aim controller for a while, is the rumble pretty good? I'm imagining the rumble's pretty decent, but you know what I would want? I want an aim controller where the controller itself costs $130 just for the controller, $129.99. But the reason it costs that much is because it's got like some special motors in it that like kick, you know, like you get a legit kick from the gun rather than just like a weak rumble. Not sure what kind of rumble it has, but anyway, we'll think about that. Okay, let's see here. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and switch up to something else here. Did I have anything else to throw on? Yeah, I mean, not really. So I will just throw on like some random trailer here. Okay, this trailer that I'm throwing on right now, this is dedicated to Mame Fan. He told me to add a little more of this element to the show. But what I wanted to do is I'm going to go ahead and take a quick check of the various subreddits. This is something I like to do each time is let's check out the subreddits, right? So I'm going to hit up the Vive subreddit. What are the top stories of the day? And the big story is Hellblade. Hellblade, Hellblade, Hellblade. Hellblade appears to have the top 2 threads. Man, if you still haven't played Hellblade yet, you are really missing out. It is a must buy. Okay, so you can call me Mr. Iceberg because I only touched the very tip of the game. Haven't got far enough in to Hellblade, so I'm not seeing what you guys are seeing yet, but I will give it a chance. And then the other big thing is when I start up the game, I'm going to get up and move my chair several feet back so I can get her a little bit out there in front of me a bit. That will be really cool. Can't wait to try that later. Zero Caliber VR, the co-op teaser. We've already talked about that. That is big on the Vive subreddit as well. We got some first impressions on Steam VR Multi-Room, the Vive wireless adapter, and Vive Focus gesture tracking. A little bit of talk about SIGGRAPH 2018 in Vancouver, Canada. A beautiful city, absolutely beautiful. We talked about the realistic upper body inverse kinematics by Nim Sony, which does look super sweet. So I guess we pretty much have covered everything that is over here. So let me go ahead and bounce over to the Oculus subreddit. I really hope that that trailer is entertaining you guys temporarily while I check out the news. On the Vive subreddit, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, a lot of love there. And this post is by Facepalm. You know, that guy that does those videos, the good, the bad, some tips and recommended settings. And I actually took a look at this thread, and he actually has a lot of good tips, a lot of good suggestions about how to change your settings and dial your settings in, that you don't need a GTX 1080 to play the game, that you can kind of dial your settings in, all the different things you can do. So that is super cool. I mean, not a bad thread there. I really appreciate that. A really good breakdown of everything. They're talking, of course, about the Zero Caliber co-op teaser. They're talking more about Hellblade, Senua, the Contagion VR Outbreak, that roadmap. We got that roadmap. Gotta love it. Seeking Dawn roadmap. Yeah, a lot of roadmaps are in the building. And a little bit of talk about Marvel Powers United VR. Not really seeing any other major news. There is this talk about like Heretic in VR and Wolfenstein 3D in VR. God damn, I got to try that stuff out. I really got to try these Doom mods. I've been really behind. I got to try those Doom mods because Heretic, oh man, all of that. Really want to try that. That is some retro stuff right there. Okay, so let me go back and check out and see what is going on with chat. Let's see here. So Chris Gould says, hey, are you going to cover Yoga VR? I want to see that. That must be a really good trailer. I'll have to check that out, Chris. Phil Yarn, hey Anthony, do you have Oculus Go? And if so, how are the lenses compared to the regular Oculus? I do not have a Go. I really want to get a Go. I don't have a Go. Anthony, the Yoga VR trailer would be even more entertaining. Wow. Is it Yoga or Yogo? I got to look up this trailer. I'll have it for another day. Phil Yarn, don't believe he has a Go. Yeah, no, I don't have a Go. I do want to get a Go. T-Dub, bit off topic, but from yesterday, Killing Floor also has very cheap on Steam for the next few days, and Dirt Rally part of the new Humble Bundle. Okay, see, that's good news. I didn't know if the Killing Floor price was limited to the Oculus store, but I guess it's on Steam as well. So it's a good deal that it is $9.99, right? That's what it was. And then the Dirt Rally deal, yeah, it was like, what, $5 for Dirt Rally? That is hard to avoid. Does anybody have the Vive and Chill? Like, does anybody actually have this for the summer? I mean, it might not be a bad thing to have. What I do is I have a fan right here, and then there's a fan over there that I put into that corner, And so I have that fan blasting on me, I have this fan blasting on me, and the combination of those two fans work pretty good. But hey, this isn't a bad idea. The Vive and Chill is not a bad idea. Let's see. Chris Golds, oh, they're talking about he'd have to get some hot pants first. Charles Van Nolan says he'll be in Sacktown on Friday morning. Need to have a cup of coffee or something, man. Let's see. Is Killing Floor any good? Well, I can tell you the Oculus version is damn good. I love Killing Floor in the Oculus. I've heard that the PSVR version is really good as far as like compared to most PSVR games. The Vive version of Killing Floor, the thing that I heard about that is that it kind of had some issues. Maybe those have been patched up by now. Jay King says, I like my Go. Use it way more than my Samsung. Whoa, that is controversial. That is controversial. Just kidding. But we know we have a few people that are Samsung supporters in our chat at certain points in time. MameFan, I have a Vive and Chill, but never used it. Who wants it? So Mame, I guess this is why you like these things, huh? This worked on you. The advertising worked on you. He ended up with a Vive and Chill. Fluke Rogi, Vive and Chill. Is that the geek version of Netflix and Chill? Kinda, if you judge it by the video we got. Paradise Decay says he has a fan on his desktop. Incursion is fun, more creeping than suggested in the videos. Incursion is visceral. Like when I was playing the Persistence on PSVR and the visceral nature of that, it reminded me of Killing Floor Incursion. And I think Killing Floor Incursion is even more visceral. Phil Yarn says, how is Killing Floor compared to Dead Effect 2? Well, Phil, if you have a Rift, I would just buy Killing Floor. If you don't have a Rift, it just depends. I mean, I don't know. Some people are saying it's pretty good on the Vive. I'd have to double check. Killing Floor has great music. Roy Schwartz. What's the music on this trailer? We're not getting no music. A little bit of music there. Seems like that TV is in danger back there. Like, I would never have a big-ass TV like that close to somebody playing in VR. No way in hell. Because somebody could easily swing around and jack up your TV. So anyway, okay, let's get off of this trailer. That was dedicated to MameFan, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see here. What else can we throw on? I'll just throw on, oh, how about Defector? You know, the interesting thing about Defector, this is supposed to be a fall game, right? Fall of this year, Twisted Pixel. This is probably Oculus's biggest game of the year because we know Stormland is a 2019 release. We don't have a date for Defector, but I think it's pretty obvious why we don't have a date for Defector. We don't have a date because they got to save some juice for Oculus Connect 5. So Oculus Connect 5, we'll find out that it's coming out on November, blah, blah, blah. And that will be the big date for Defector. So, you know, kind of interested in that. Crunchy says Defector looks so cool. I don't know. Let me look at this trailer for a sec. Let's check it out.
You're going to need it.
You know, the one thing about Defector that I really will give them props on is that you are driving in that car on the ground at certain times, I think, as well. And if the engine of driving that car is really awesome, that is going to be super awesome to be able to go back and forth, shooting, driving, you know, really having that James Bond 007 experience. I'm sure that is what Twisted Pixel is going for, kind of a James Bond, kind of a Mission Impossible. And, you know, that movie just came out, so it's kind of like good timing here. But basically, that's what they're going for. And then also, the dialogue play, you know, kind of the interaction with the dialogue. These guys made Wilson's Heart. These guys have some chops. It looks very colorful, very bright. I'm not super excited about like the spy thing, but it could be done very well. The crazy thing here, though, is what if Blood and Truth for PlayStation VR and Defector, what if they come out within days of each other in November, which is entirely possible because Blood and Truth is Sony's big game. I really hope that Oculus and Sony, they make a phone call and say, hey, bro, what date do you want for Defector? What date do you want for Blood and Truth? Keep those games like a month apart if you could, because very similar in terms of being a spy and this type of thing. But I really like the idea of being in a car and driving in a car and also doing some spy related stuff. So let's see what people in chat are saying. Bird Person, I have a Vive and Chill. Also removed nose rest to let in more air. Also installed a second window AC unit in my play area. Damn, Bird Person, do you live in Arizona? I mean, do you live in Phoenix, Arizona, or are you in Las Vegas? Because I'll see that on the news, like 114 in Las Vegas. Sounds like it must be very, very hot where you live. Mame Fan is thanking me for putting on that Vive and Chill video. Crunchy says Defector looks so cool. Yeah, he says Mission Impossible VR. Yeah, it is very... It's probably more Mission Impossible, actually, than James Bond 007. Gerard O'Hara says, looks like a Jason Statham movie. Yep, absolutely. Paradise is a big fan of Wilson's Heart, so looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to the fact that this game looks like it has a lot more action than Wilson's Heart, but it also adds some of that dialogue juice that Wilson's Heart has. Looks colorful, looks graphically very intense and powerful. This is probably, I mean, if we're honest with ourselves, is there a bigger game, assuming this is guaranteed for 2018, assuming Defector has no chance of being delayed, is there a bigger game in 2018 for VR platforms than Defector? This might be the biggest game. Transference says, hey, hello there. Phil Yarn has to go back to work. All right, man, we will see you. Phil, by the way, when you get off work, there might be a special Magic Leap bonus episode. I know you love Magic Leap. No, you probably don't. Christmas come early. Let's see. Yeah, so Sparhawk is checking in. Hi, guys. Getting here late today. I got to say, folks, it is 12 p.m. The show is winding down. But guess what? I am going to have a special bonus Magic Leap episode sometime later today. I've got an appointment at 3 p.m. I got to go to. I'm hoping to have it at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And basically, there's a lot of little Magic Leap stuff that has come out. So I want to talk about that a little bit. So I'm going to try to have a show 5 p.m. Pacific. So make sure to check in on that. I wanted to take a real quick check of Upload VR. Let's see, is there any late breaking news? So Upload VR is talking about Pixel Ripped 1989, highly concentrated nostalgia meets VR. They're talking about Here They Lie on PSVR will be free to all PS Plus subscribers until October. So you could sign up on the until October 2nd. You can get Here They Lie for free if you sign up for PS Plus. More VR devs are looking to Rift for their next project instead of Vive. That's according to some type of poll that was taken. I wouldn't throw a lot into that. That is designed to get your clicks. I mean, that is absolutely designed to get your clicks. Road to VR, take a quick check over on Road to VR. They're talking about Pico raising $24 million. A Goblin 2 standalone headset announced. Don't know a lot about that. They're talking about Seeking Dawn headed to PSVR in December. Killing Floor gets Windows VR support. They're talking about Electronauts as well. Hellblade, of course. So I'm not seeing any really breaking stories at this point. So I'm pretty much going to have to wrap the show up. I'm so sorry for Sparhawk because he just got here. But of course, you know, you can always rewind and go back. And I think you can join this stream at any point in time. Of course, you just won't be live. Or you can just wait and watch the version that comes on a little bit later. Okay, so what I might as well do here is throw on the old outro. All right, yeah, so that is going to go ahead and do it. This has been episode 165 of the Daily Vlog Live, and I will see everybody later today at 5 p.m. for a Magic Leap special. See you guys then. Later.